X Legend Entertainment is definitely on a roll, and not long after the launch of Fantasy Frontier Online, which was released under the name Aura Kingdom in the West, the Taiwanese studio is showing us Dragon Slayer, one of their upcoming games. And once again, we're treated to a very colorful anime style, something that is a distinguishing trait of the studio. Only this time it's going all chibi, and there's going to be monsters to hunt. So you'll be as much a monster hunter as you'll be a Dragon Slayer, if you know what we mean. Anyways, let's see what this game is all about.
FreeMMOStation.com.
There was a slight evolution on visuals from Eden Eternal to Aura Kingdom, and the move to Dragon Slayer also seems to be a very slight one. We could almost say that this is a chibified version of Aura Kingdom. We're not too picky if we expect better graphics in our MMORPGs nowadays, and while Dragon Slayer looks okay-ish, it could look much better. Even an old game such as Dragon Nest rivals Dragon Slayer. If you're looking for a stunning anime MMORPG, then we recommend that you keep an eye out for Period Chronicles, Tree of Savior, or even Maple Story 2. However, Dragon Slayer could easily attract a lot of anime fans who are interested in the creature designs of this game. Graphics aren't everything, as we usually say. Dragon Slayer has something else going for it, and that is the Monster Hunter approach to the gameplay. In this game, you play as a hunter, and you're going to take down over 200 monsters that can then be used as mounts in land, air, sea. Dragon Slayer has this collectible compulsion that will certainly keep many players coming back for more. There are some really weird mounts, others are very cute, and some are even chocobo-like creatures. While the graphics aren't amazing, the design is pretty good, and they should be enough to make players want to discover more mounts. The way to get them is by fighting the creature, and then there's this low chance of it dropping an egg. That's where the mount comes from, so pick it up immediately or you may lose it to another player. Classes known so far are pretty standard, it seems, so don't expect anything different from the dozens of MMOs that you've played lately. Cleric, Warrior, Ranger, and Wizard. At least we got the main archetypes in there. For a game that takes a monster hunting approach, we would expect some exciting action-based combat with plenty of moves and dodges and all that stuff. Taking inspiration from Dragon Nest would be a good start, and at first we were confident that this would mark a step forward in X Legend Games combat. However, we're still treated to this hybrid combat system where button mashing plays the biggest part and tab targeting combat brings the action kinda to a halt, with animations having to complete before players can dodge or roll again. You can also lock on to one enemy or hit the empty space to damage all enemies, with games such as Kingdom Under Fire 2 or Black Desert Online striving to improve action combat as a whole in the genre. We were expecting Dragon Slayer to be just that little bit more action-y. There are some things that show some promise on Dragon Slayer, including the crafting system and the stat system, both of which are pretty standard but competent all the same. Being able to craft the best gear from the materials obtained through several means gives us this push to keep discovering more and more of the game. And the stat system offers enough freedom to create your favorite character and consequently our gameplay style, allocating points to the desired stats. This particularly is something that we lost in many MMORPGs of recent years. We've already mentioned the okay-ish graphics as a drawback to a certain type of player, and then there's the combat, which is pretty much more of the same. Although the dodge and jump abilities could bring a lot of excitement to a combat, a game focused on taking down monsters really should be a little bit more action-focused, more like Monster Hunter Online, obviously. We're also a bit skeptic on the quality of the gameplay outside of combat. How exciting will the quests be? Will the usual auto-pathing be in the game? And then characters probably only giving us some just lame excuse to go hunt this or that monster X times. The world is also instance-based, so don't expect a large open world to explore. Most of all, it's the combat system that kinda seems disappointing. Cause that would be the mechanics that make Dragon Slayer a truly different game from Aura Kingdom. As it stands, it's, well, pretty much, let's just say we've seen it before. Many times, and many years ago. So while the anime Monster Hunter concept is compelling, and there is something inexplicable about getting those rare mounts, Dragon Slayer looks more like an Aura Kingdom evolved or chibified than a completely new game. It has some appeal, but it could be a lot more if given proper care. Mostly the combat. We were expecting a game to lessen our disappointment of not seeing Monster Hunter Online in the West, but now we're seriously doubting Dragon Slayer can be that game. Dragon Slayer will still be welcomed in the West, of course, in the case it actually ever makes its way over here. Something that is very likely considering that X Legend's track record, Eden Eternal and Aura Kingdom were both picked up by Aria Games, so there is that. But please, let us know in the comments your opinion on Dragon Slayer.